We shall see. It says, thinking, thinking, thinking. Is it thinking enough? It says, I've got some people here. It says, I've got some thumbs up. Thank you, beautiful people. All right. Made it live. Wonderful. I'm going to change it from top chat to live chat. I want to see all the chatting. Today, we are blessing their bigoted hearts. Happy Venus Day. I'm Bonnie Gillespie. Have you hugged yourself today? And even if you have, do it again because it feels really good. Please let me know, live viewers, if you can see me and hear me. Hello, hello, hello. Jackie says, yes, made it here live. Thank you for doing this, especially today, of course. So stoked to be here, says Michelle. Fabulous. Donna says, Decans. What? Kelly says, oh, made one too. Might have to leave before it's over. Good to see you. Yes, good, good, good. Hi, Gus. Hello, Lizzie Lee. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me here. We are going to talk about Decans. We're going to talk about Decans. Here's what I want to know. Do you feel like your sun sign? That's what I want to know. What is your sun sign? And do you feel, perfect example, my sun sign, Cancer. Cancer is the mother sign. Apparently, Cancers supposedly love to cook and kitchen and bake and nurture and no. Childless by choice. And I burn water. So no kitchen, no kids. No. So I don't feel like a Cancer when it comes to some of the things that are often associated with Cancer. Let's see. Tell me about you. Tell me about you. Hi, 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 Jackie. Carla from Victoria, BC. Good to see you. Hope you are staying warm. Hello, Deb Marie. Good to see you. Gus, yes, Santa was good over here. Thank you very much for asking. Hope so for you as well. Michelle says, sometimes I feel like my sign. Kelly says, sometimes, but lots I don't identify with. Virgo, meticulous, organized, list making, not me. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Lizzie Lee, in some ways, yes, I feel like my Taurus sun. Great. Jackie says, I feel more like my Aries rising. More than what? What? Remind me your sun, Jackie. I think it's Sagittarius, I think. Michelle says, I feel and thonk like my sun sign, but I don't act like it. I like that. I like that. Tell me what those are. Carla says, Sagittarius tend to be more Capricorn than Sagittarius as I get older. Okay, so you're born late Sagittarius. We will get into some specific dates and see if that answers some of that. I admit I never heard of Decans until now, says Kim. Intrigued. Well, Kim, I'm so glad you could join me and that I could be someone to introduce you to one of the many ways to do Decans. Like most things in astrology, this is an overwhelming topic. I'm going to try and do the chart harmony version of things and make it nice and simple. We're going to do simple, straightforward. I even spent time yesterday building a master list in Canva and then decided I'm not ready to make that a PDF for y'all because I want to make it even simpler than this because this is already, that's too much writing. But let me show you what Decans are. Let me show you what Decans are. Get along with other Taurus, but don't feel totally similar, says Lizzie Lee. Okay. Saskatoon. I was like, Jackie, your sign Saskatoon? No, got a lot of Canadians coming in today. Regina says Capricorn, and yes, I do. Yes, you do, Regina. Deb Marie, Libra, balanced, sometimes. Got that, got that. Think, says Michelle. Oh, I liked Thonk. I thought Thonk was good. Jackie says Aries rising, Sun, Sag, Moon in Libra. Got it. That is your life car. I feel like a baby Leo, even though I am big Leo now, says Gus. Right on. Oh, excellent. Okay, well, so this is what the astrology of right now, 5 minutes ago, looked like. Let's get that to zoom in. There we go. So I want you to notice that for each, here's the sun in Capricorn right now. For each of these houses, there's 12 houses around the chart wheel. For each of these, we've got the sign on the outside. So over here, Sagittarius, and here is Capricorn. Here's Aquarius. Right now, as we are having today's meeting, we've started this meeting, this live stream during a Pisces rising. Okay, sun in Capricorn for this location, for where I am. Yes, correct. Okay, so I want you to notice I've got little extras right there. Little extra planets. Little extra planets. I've got 3 little planets under each of the signs. So here's a Capricorn sun that we're in right now. And this particular sun is very Saturnian. This Capricorn sun is not only Saturn ruled, but Saturn decan ruled. We are using what's called elemental decans. There are a bajillion different types of things that we can do in astrology, and someone somewhere has taught every different version of all the things through all of time. What we're doing is called elemental decans. And what that does is it says, we're going to take Capricorn and then we're going to divide it into 3. And those are each of the 10 degrees that make up decan 1, decan 2, decan 3. 30 degrees for each sign. This is why we use whole sign houses for traditional astrology. We use whole sign houses, even though we're going to do some modern rulership here. We're going to cross-pollinate. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to be talking about what happens in each of the sets of 10 degrees. You can remember it decan like decade. So 10 degrees. That's how that works, okay? And there's a different ruler for each one. So depending on when you were born, your sun can be early in your sign, middle of your sign, or late in your sign. And there is a sub-ruler for each of those decans that determines a little something else about how you express and how you show up in the world. So I would be interested to see how this feels for you, just having kind of a moment of, yeah, just based on the time of year that I was born, it puts me in a different decan, and potentially there's a different kind of vibe to it. I also printed up my own natal chart. This is me, okay? And I'm able to see, oh, wow, I have these stelliums, but I can tell that I have lots of things concentrated in 3rd and 2nd decan. And that is very interesting because each decan has an assignment. When you have things in the 1st decan, you are here to really represent what it is that your sign and that sign's ruler are about. When you are born into the 2nd decan, you are here to come to an understanding, really get to know the relationships between the ruler of your decan and the ruler of the sign itself. And then if you are a 3rd decan person born toward the end of the sign, the last days of the sign, you're on a quest for mastery. You're here to really get what it is to master all things of that rulership, and that feeling really starts to make sense when you take a look at things in your chart. So we're going to take a look at specifically your sun sign, unless everybody is so like, I get it, I'm advanced, I'm ready, let's go. Then we can start looking at other planets and your rising and so on. But for now, I would love it if you would share with me what degree your sun is. And if you don't know, you can get your chart done at astro.com or your favorite app. And what you're looking for is the little, like if I point right here to the now time, we are in South Node 1 degree Libra. I'm looking for that number right there. If I want to take a look at Jupiter over here in Gemini right now, I'm looking for that number right there, 13 degrees, Jupiter in Gemini, Uranus, 23 Taurus. Okay, that sort of thing. That sort of thing. So what we got? What we got? Pisces rising, Virgo moon, 23 degrees rising. Right, let's do sun. Let's do sun. Whoa, the heater just made like a big loud noise. That's interesting. The heater apparently had decided it was time to turn off, and then the gas disagreed. Okay. Oh my, woo, I don't like that sound at all. Well, this will be the most exciting live stream ever if my heater, I don't even want to speak that. Did y'all hear that? Okay. All right. Jackie says, oh my Lord, this is so freaking awesome. Just like a Sagittarius with Aries rising. To say all that. Yes. 20 degrees Taurus sun. So Lizzie, you are at the start of 3rd decan. So here's the numbers, the way it goes. 0 degrees to 9 degrees, 59 minutes is decan 1. 10 degrees to 19 degrees 59 minutes is decan 2. 20 degrees to 29 degrees 59 minutes is decan 3. All right, so Lizzie Lee with third decan Taurus. Virgo sun at 25 degrees for Kelly, so that's third decan Virgo. And Leo sun 9:59. Cecilia, you are right at the end of decan 1 for your Leo sun. Donna, Libra sun 18 degrees 51 minutes. Donna, are we like connected or what? My moon is 18 degrees Libra, 18 degrees 1 minute. We are like peanut butter and jelly. You and me, Donna. You and me. 4 degrees Virgo, decan 1. Right on. Kim, 12 degrees Pisces. Okay, second decan. And Sandra, Virgo, 0 degrees, 25 minutes. You are at first decan with that under 1 degree. Yeah, you're right there in the 0 degrees, 25 minutes. You just got right out of Leo season and then said, okay, I'm ready. Cecilia, Leo. Yeah, gotcha. All right. Carla, Sagittarius sun, 29 degrees, 28 minutes, critical degree, but that's third decan Sagittarius. Right on. Alexandra, 25 degrees Aquarius sun. So that's going to be in the third decan. Kim says 12 degrees, 54 minutes. Yeah, totally fine. Rounding up is fine, except for if you're in that very last degree of that decan, and then rounding up would put you in the next decan, and we want to make sure that we're getting that right. Excellent. Regina, Cap sun at 29 degrees, critical degree. Yep, so you are in third decan for you, Regina. Fabulous. And 0 degree Virgo with an out of bounds Jupiter. Meticulous is my middle name. Right on. Okay, excellent. Petite, you are at 19 degrees Virgo, 43 minutes. So you are still in decan 2. And Deb Marie, Libra, 6 degrees, 29 minutes. You're in decan 1. Excellent. Okay, great. So let's talk about what this means, because I mean, okay, we're getting clear on like what we are in terms of decan that we fall in. Remember, we're using elemental decans, and this is not the only way to do decans. So if you get going out on Dr. Google, but I'm actually not Googling anymore. I'm DuckDuckGoing because Google is no longer serving up results that take you to the sites that wrote the stuff. They're just taking the content off the sites and doing an AI version and keeping you on Google rather than sending you to the site that came up with the content. And as a prolific content creator, no thank you. I would like you to send people to my site where they can go deeper with me, not you, damn Google. So DuckDuckGo. So when you're out there Googling and you land on some other kind of decan framework, please know it's not wrong. I'm not wrong. These are different kinds of decan representations. Just like there's traditional astrology, modern astrology, just like there's so many other places we can go with all of this. We are using elemental decans, and here's what makes it super easy to remember. What is your element, your sun's element? Go ahead and tell me in the chat. This is where I'm talking about, are you fire? Are you earth? Are you water? No, air? Are you water? Okay, we got air, fire, earth, earth, fire, fire. Earth, earth, air, fire, water. Leo. Yes, 24 Leo, 37 Gus. That's going to be fire. Yes, but third decan. Yes. No, wait, earth, says Sandra. Take it back. Okay. Earth for Kathy. I'm water for my sun. Air for my moon, my rising. We will save those for bonus points. Right now we are doing the sun. All right, so you've got your sun element. So here's how we do this. You look at the ruler of your entire sign. So if it's Aries, you are ruled by Mars. If it's Taurus, you are ruled by Venus. If it is Gemini, you're ruled by Mercury. If it's Cancer, you're ruled by the moon. If it's Leo, you're ruled by the sun. If it's Virgo, you're ruled by Mercury. If it's Libra, you're ruled by Venus. If it's Scorpio, we are going to do traditional rulership. You're ruled by Mars. If it's Sagittarius, yes, you're ruled by Jupiter. Capricorn, ruled by Daddy Saturn. Aquarius, again, we're going with traditional, so that's going to be another Saturn rulership, and Pisces, end of the zodiac, that is going to be ruled by Jupiter. Again, traditional rulership. I think I just did the 12 signs and what you're ruled by. What you are ruled by overall is then going to have a sub-ruler based on the element that you are by sun sign. As I'm saying this, I'm trying to think of ways I could have done this visually, which is not helping me. Like I'm like, oh, I could have done a share screen and I could have done a point. Y'all are with me. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna avoid moon right now anyway. We're about to go to let me pull up. When do we go into our Sagittarius moon? Because that's gonna feel good. Let's see. Clock. Ooh, we're gonna get our Sagittarius moon very soon. Right now it is 29 degrees, 52 minutes, Scorpio moon. We'll be getting a Sagittarius moon very soon. Whew, that'll feel good. All right. So starting with Aries, like we always do. If you are in first decan Aries, good news. You don't have to remember anything more than you are ruled by Mars, because first decan Aries is going to be Mars. So if we take a look at, where's the easiest one to do? This is the chart of the start of this conversation that we're having today. First decan of Aries is right over here. That's the 0 degrees to 9 degrees, 59 minutes. And so that's a Mars ruled sign and then a Mars ruled decan. So it's basically you go Mars. Once you get to 10 degrees Aries, you move over to another fire sign, and that fire sign happens to be Leo, ruled by the sun. So if you are second decan Aries, you are ruled by Mars and the sun. So this means the expression of a second decan Aries is going to be different than a first decan Aries, in the way of that first decan is going to be Mars, fast. And the second decan is going to have that glow of leadership, of enoughness, of drama, if you think about the Leo characteristics. And so that's going to be Mars, go, and then see me, sun. Third decan, again, fire element, we're going to go to Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. And so that means third decan Aries, we're in Mars, go, and Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. Abundance, all the glitter, so much optimism, so much faith and trust. Follow? We're going to do this for all of the signs. So I took a little extra time with that because I want to make sure that you're like going, yep, I see what you're doing there. We're going to do it a few more times to make sure that we get the flow of it elementally. And then we're going to see if you're like, yes. Oh, pop, brain, popcorn. Yes, please. Scorpio moon cuts a bitch. Girl, don't I know? Let's get us in that Sagittarius moon. I know I wrote at Blue Sky last night. I was like, you think I would remember to put up the Scorpio moon warning post-it every single month, but I don't. And then on the months when I don't put up that warning post-it and all it says is moon is in Scorpio, be gentle. When I don't put up that note, we end up getting so sensitive over here and getting in fights over nothing. And it's like, oh, that moon does not like being in Scorpio. Sweet. Oh my goodness. Rocking it for me. Double fire. Great. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Excellent. Perfect. All right. So let's look at Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So all of Taurus is ruled by Venus. That's going to be love, beauty, money, enoughness. There is this ability to receive, manifest. All of that is Venus and her jam. It's just this, yes, bring it to me because I deserve it just by being. Venus has a really yummy, gooey, slow. I love looking at the slow roll of Venus as something so fascinating. When I learned that the day on Venus, so Venus, first of all, rotates backwards from almost everything else in our solar system. So Venus is turning what would be considered opposite everything, which I love because I'm Venus ruled and left-handed. So everything I do is backwards. I'm like, yes, Venus, do it. The slowness with which she does a day means that her day is actually longer than her year. She gets around the sun faster than she turns a rotation. That's a long ass day. That's a long ass day. Okay. So first decan of Taurus is going to do exactly like first decan Aries did, and it's just going to double down on that rulership. So we're going to have Venus as the ruler and the decan ruler if you are in first decan, which is 0 to 9 degrees 59 minutes of Taurus for your sun. When we move to second decan, remember we're dealing with an earth sign now. Taurus is an earth sign. We go to another earth sign. We're going to go to Virgo, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So second decan Taurus has a subruler of Mercury. So there's going to be this expression that is less about receive and allow, which is that first decan because it's double Venus. It's just going to receive, allow, yes, I'm worth it. That second decan of Taurus is going to feel a little more staccato. Mercury's involvement is going to mean there's a little more of the shape-shifty energy. There's going to be a little more of the, I got to communicate. I got to make a list of the ways that I am enough rather than just I have a knowing that I am enough. And then when we get to third decan Taurus, we're going to go to yet another earth sign. This one's Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Daddy Saturn. So in third decan Taurus, so if you were born in the last 10 days, let's say, of Taurus, you are in that decan that is ruled by Venus. Bring it to me, receive, receive, receive. I am enough, beauty, love, all the things that are Venusian. And then Daddy Saturn for that decan. And Daddy Saturn says, don't take more than you need. Don't do with what is baseline. Let's stick with all that is right within that amount that is required, because Daddy Saturn is a minimalist and likes the structure and likes the word no, likes boundaries. And so there's a little push-pull in that third decan Taurus between those rulers. With me? Okay, I'm gonna take a look. Let's see. Donna says, I have a natal Scorpio moon. Donna, so you need to be doing, well, you do what you do, but I'm going to say, if it's me, if I have a natal Scorpio moon, I'm going to be doing chart harmony for my moon, like pretty much always, to just get it happier, get that moon happier. Oh, that moon just in Scorpio. She's so sensitive. She's so sensitive. And so how do we get her feeling a little better? Like that would be part of the work I would do. I have my Mars is in fall, and so I'm doing something for Mars pretty much every day. I came up with something yesterday while working with a client that I'm so excited to roll out, and I'm not even going to talk about it because I keep talking about all the things I'm excited to roll out, and then I never. This is not true. I'm about to say something really mean about myself. I never finish what I start and never get things rolled out, and that is a lie. I get plenty of things rolled out. I just have infinitely more ideas than I have time to get all the things out. Not a problem. We'll get to them. But I'm not even going to lay this one out. It's just know there's another thing coming that's going to be around the idea of what is the thing that is hurting most in my chart and how do I fix that? Or how do I soothe that? We were born with that chart so that we have that experience. We're not meant to fix anything, but how can we make it less? Okay. Lizzie Lee, I am also Venus ruled left-handed. Ha, I love that. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? Yay. Wild for me, Taurus sun, third decan, because I have Cap rising and stellium in Capricorn. I should not be surprised to find myself here. Hello again, Mr. Saturn. Yep, checks out. Liz, right? Right? Like Saturn's going to be involved in you no matter which direction you're coming from. Yes, exactly. Danielle, interesting to be second decan Taurus with Mercury in my 10th house with my Taurus sun. Look at that. Look at that. Feels like it adds extra Mercury influence. Definitely. And so, of course, we want to take a look at what is the condition of that decanic ruler, the decan ruler. What's their condition in my chart? Like, do I need to do chart harmony for that planet? Because maybe it is really begging for support. Right. Oh my God, you're describing my husband with third decan Taurus. Cecilia, isn't it great when you get like the key to the lock that has been like so locked and hasn't made sense, and then you're just like unlocking. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Total lie, says Kelly. LOL. Okay. I feel like the whole world is, myself included. Yeah, Gus. Yes. Okay. Jackie says, don't say anything bad about yourself. You're perfect. Right. Everybody is. Of course. Don't we all have more ideas than we can roll out? You know, Kathy, depending on signs, there are some signs Keith does not have too many ideas to get to roll out. Like, no, no air in his chart. Yeah. We don't need fixing, definitely need soothing. Yes, Deb Marie, thank you for confirming that. Right on. Decans over my head. Michelle, for now. But remember, there would have been a time when what we're doing right now in your moon calendar would have been over your head. And now you're just like, bring it. Let's do some moon calendar. Y'all, we've only done 2 signs. Let's move on to Gemini, shall we? Let's see. Did we get our Sagittarius moon yet? Nope, not yet. We're at 29 degrees, 57 minutes on our moon in Scorpio. All right. Hang on a sec. We're gonna get over to our Gemini decans. So Gemini's ruler is Mercury. So shapeshifter, lots of chatting, air sign, lots of chatting, lots of ideas, lots of this way, that way. What choice do I want to make? This direction, that direction. There's a lot of that with Gemini in general, but it's the Mercury influence of, I want to make sure that I'm checking out all the different places I could go. And I am not upset if I change my mind. That is a big value of Mercury. Not at all worried about changing the mind. Whereas there are other signs and other planets and rulers, luminaries, that go, we cannot change our mind. We must commit. Mercury, not worried about it. Just think about how Mercury retrograde is so like, oh gosh, we get to do this thing over again. We get to redo all the things. It's like, yeah, Mercury loves that. So Gemini first decan is Mercury ruled overall and first decan ruled by Mercury. So the first 10 degrees, first 9 degrees, 59 minutes of Gemini are going to be double Mercury. So if you're born in those first 10 days of Gemini season, double Mercury. When we get to second decan Mercury, we move to another air sign. We're going to go to Libra, and Libra is Venus. So the Venus ruler of Libra is what the second decan of Gemini gets. All right. So that means we add to the mix of non-committal. I could choose whatever I want. I like changing my mind, and I'm going to talk. We're going to now add to that this Venusian enoughness, this values on beauty and making things look great. And so there's also that indecisive part that Libra is a big player of, or a big player with, gets really stirred into that second decan. So it's almost like it ramps up some of that energy, but with also this very clear knowing of I am enough. So there's a little bit of a better manifester in the second decan of Gemini. And I don't mean manifester like human design or whatever. I'm talking, because isn't that a thing? I'm talking about like you're able to actually manifest in ways that other Geminis may not be able to. Third decan Gemini, we're going to go to another air sign, and this one is Aquarius. And again, with traditional rulership, Aquarius is ruled by Daddy Saturn. Now, here's where we get to add on bonus points. Because when we take a look at Daddy Saturn and Aquarius and how that influence works with Mercury third decan, there really is this like chilling, let's stop it, let's control it. Here are the rules that go with the last decan Gemini that don't exist in the first 2 decans. And also, there is a little bit of the modern rulership, which I told you we were going to mix traditional and modern today. Here's where we start doing that. The modern ruler of Aquarius is Uranus. And Uranus is the planet that comes in, looks around, and says, where am I not free? And then fuck shit up to get free. And so I love that this combination of Saturn/Uranus for the rulership of third decan Gemini has both, I'm going to follow the rules and I'm going to fuck shit up because the rules are not working for me. Does this describe anybody you know with third decan Gemini? Sure does for me. Okay, let's see. Lots of air in Dave's. Yeah, I know, Kathy. He's so air. Yes. Okay, good. In 4 minutes, or 4 minutes from when you wrote, we get our moon moving into Sagittarius. Yes, we're in a void moon right now, and I can see from my Astro app we're at 29 degrees 59 minutes, and I don't know the number of seconds, but that's okay. We're almost there. Da, da, da. Yes, yes. Liz says, Kelly, glad I'm not the only one. Oh, Daddy Saturn issues. Right on, right on. Okay, cool. So did Gemini get to like, whoosh, or were you able to go there? Let me find out. Let me find out. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? Okay. I'm gonna think we're good. It's I use Astro Gold, Kim. I use Astro Gold, but you could there are so many sites out there that you can just go to see the current astro weather. The blend of modern and traditional rulers is cool. Lizzie, yeah, I like it. I like, there's a part of me that goes, oh, but if you're going to use modern rulers, then you don't need to use whole signs. And I'm like, no, we want to use whole signs for decans because they need to be the 10 degrees, the 10 degrees, the 10 degrees. And if we're also straddling houses at the same time, that just gets into interception and so many things that are way too many degrees of difficulty for introducing this. Good. I'm glad you like that. All right, then I'm gonna move on into Cancer. We're gonna move on into Cancer. So, Sagittarius moon. Whew. Did you feel it? Sagittarius moon. Whoosh. Oh, yes. Let's do a clearing spray. Do a clearing spray. I have my clearing spray here. It is Mist of Change clearing spray. Ingredients: water, witch hazel, essential oils of lime, lavender, eucalyptus, rosemary, sage, and marjoram. Yum, yum, yum. Love. Smells so good. Oh my God, it smells like I'm cooking now, which I already mentioned I burn water. All right, Cancer. First decan Cancer, 0 degrees to 9 degrees, 59 minutes. We're going to have double down on the moon. The moon rules all of Cancer, and the moon rules first decan Cancer. Done. You are here to do all the feeling, the sensing, the self-care, care of others, making sure people's needs are met, but not to the sacrifice of yourself, hopefully. There's a lot of that intuitive, dreamy feeling in all the water signs, really, but especially first decan Cancer. So let's go to second decan Cancer. We're going to move to another water sign. We're going to move to Scorpio. Scorpio, traditional ruler, Mars. Mars is not happy in Cancer. So second decan Sun in Cancer, hi, me, it's me, has a little issue. Because that Mars rulership in that sign of Cancer, it's in fall. It's not so great. It's not happy there. If we go to our modern ruler, we get to Pluto. So let's talk about that dynamic. Second decan Cancer. And so this is my sun, so I may spend a little extra time on this and y'all just going to enjoy it. It is, yes, all the knowing of the moon. Yes, all the intuitive. Yes, all the making sure everyone feels safe. And I think anybody in my world would tell you, yes, 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 on me, on all that. But then that second decan ruled by Mars/Pluto, we get into Mars not happy here. I will cut a bitch, and often that bitch is me. I turn that energy of fight, fight, fight in on myself because I don't know how to use the Mars energy because Mars is in fall in Cancer. And if you're like, what are you talking about? Go look at my other video on essential dignities. It's about how some planets are not happy in certain signs. It's the one that on the cover art, the thumbnail, it's got these cute shoes and not so cute shoes. It's a meme that somebody out there on the internet did, and their credit is on the screen there, so you'll see who that is. Anyway, that's a fun, it's like, do you have a Beyonce placement is I think one of the questions I ask in that. Okay, and then Pluto says transformation. There's going to be transformation energy here. There's going to be big power here. Okay, I could see all of that being true for me. But it's not going to be easy. Second decan Cancer, not going to be easy. Third decan Cancer, we're going to go to another water sign, and this time we're going to go to Pisces. Pisces traditionally ruled by Jupiter. So that would mean that third decan of Cancer, so people born the last 10 days of Cancer season, are going to have a more optimistic, more trusting, more faith-filled perspective than someone like me over here in second decan. Second decan is going to be like, I don't know, the sky is falling and it's scary, and wow, there's so much powerful energy here, and I'm not sure I'm ready for all of the power that exists here. Yeah, That's part of why I love astrology so much, because it helps me reconcile so much of what I feel is in the world, and in us, and what we're capable of. And that's a bigger existential crisis question for or conversation for another membership somewhere. But the modern ruler of Pisces is Neptune. So also third decan Cancer folks have this air of mystery of, I'm not going to communicate what the real truth is. It's going to be a story that is told rather than an actual fact-finding mission. And that storyteller of Neptune, kind of, I like to say, is the pick up the magic 8 ball and shake it, and it always says, reply hazy, try again later, because Neptune is not going to make a clear answer about anything. So when we get to third decan Cancer, there is this combination of endless optimism and a little bit of confusion, a little bit of, we're not really clear on what's happening here. Oh my God, this is my mom, says Kelly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hellcat just joined in. Gemini, June 4th, second decan. Yeah. Yes. On this handout that I have made for y'all in Canva that I'm not ready to give y'all, I do have the dates. So yes, you can check my date with me if you don't know degrees. Yep. So June 4th is second decan of Gemini. That is correct. It is so handy, Lizzie. I know. Not me last night making sure that my dates are correct. If I go 10 years in the past and 10 years in the future, how often is the start date of any decan off by a day? And they do, they are off by a day. That's why we have leap year, is because sometimes people who are born toward the end of a sign or the beginning of a sign will actually have their birthday some years take place in the sign that they are not, because it's where the sun was when they were born. But their birthday this year may not be when the sun is right back there, but instead in the next sign. I know. Okay. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun to notice, like, when you track it many years back and many years forward, you can see kind of what the pattern is of, like, how many years does it go before this sign actually starts a day later and also ends a day earlier. Okay. Are we good? We've done now one sign of each element, and we're going to do it all again. I know that one, says Carla. I knew you probably did when you mentioned up at the top that you were born right at the edge of the sign there. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Kelly, I'm glad I've given you more insight into your mom. I'm not loving how fuzzy my hair is. And why am I paying attention to that now? Because we're now under Sagittarius moon, and Scorpio moon was like, I don't care, get this shit up on top of my head. I don't know. All right, y'all. Seriously. My little twirly bun. Leo, ready for it? Leo is ruled by the sun. So all Leos are ruled by the sun. And boy, don't you know it. The sun says, see me. I am a leader. I lead from the heart. I mean what I say what I mean. I am the center of attention because, my God, I am the sun. Leo, got that? Also drama. Leo loves drama because it's like, put me in that spotlight. I don't care what that spotlight comes from. Give it to me. All right. Leo. I work with a lot of Leos in show business. We'll just say that. It makes sense. I mean, and Leo in the big three, it doesn't have to always be the sun, but we're talking about the sun for this. So first decan Leo, just like always, we're going to double up that rulership. So that first decan, first 10 days of Leo season, are going to be ruled by the sun. So you're just going to double down on that experience. Second decan Leo, meaning not 10 degrees to 19 degrees, 59 minutes, or to look at my date list here, it's going to be people born August 1st to August 12th-ish. We go to another fire sign. Leo's a fire sign. So we go to another fire sign. We're going to go to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So middle decan, second decan Leo is going to have an optimism that doesn't exist quite the same way in the other sides of Leo. There's going to be this faith, this trust, this abundance personality, this more. So like, if there's a way for a Leo to be like a bigger deal Leo, more glitter Leo, like get them born August 1st to August 12th. Yeah, that's going to be all the expansive, because of that Jupiter rulership of that decan. And then our third decan, Leo, we're going to go to yet another fire sign. This time we'll go to Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So third decan, Leo, that last 10 days of Leo season, those folks are going to have more of a fight, fight, fight energy. There's going to be more of a go, 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 get stuff done. And this is really interesting because Leo on its own is a fixed sign and will sometimes get stuck in their ways. But when we get this Mars rulership, this Aries association in that third decan, we get a fire lit that is way more go, take action, go get it. And so we have at the end of Leo season, those last 10 days, people whose sun sign is there or any of their big three, they're going to have more action takey energy than other Leos. Oh, I know those Leos, says Kim. That's our oldest daughter, says Jackie. That makes sense. Excellent. 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 All right. No, Sahara, we're going through sign by sign and we just now finished Leo. So we're about to do Virgo. You need to remember that in your acting playbook. Right on, Gus. Right on, Gus. Okay, here we go. Virgo. Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So like Gemini, Virgo ruled by Mercury all the way across. And so first decan, Virgo, so 0 degrees to 9 degrees, 59 minutes, those first 10 days of Virgo season, those folks are going to be double Mercury. So if it's possible to be more Mercury, let's see it. And technically every single degree has a ruler. So we could get even more granular than we do. With this, I'm already getting to like 36 different sub signs, right? But we could actually have 360 different ruler conversations. We're not going to do that because come on. But of course I'm talking about that when we get to Virgo, because Virgo would be like, oh no, I would like to do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Can we go ahead and do like all the various combinations that we could get to? 360 is not a problem. Let's go. I'm ready. I have my pen. Let's make the list. So second decan Virgo, because Virgo is an earth sign, we're going to go to another earth sign. We're going to go to Capricorn. Capricorn, Daddy Saturn. Middle decan, second decan Virgos. People born, let me look at my list here, from September 1st to September 12th-ish, because it can wiggle a little. But remember, we're looking at the degrees more than the dates. But in general, those are the dates for the degrees we're looking at, which are 10 degrees to 19 degrees 59 minutes Virgo. You're going to have a decan ruler of Daddy Saturn. So now we're going to be talking Mercury all over the place, happy to change, communicate, 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 thoughts, 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 ideas, 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 very big with Virgo. And then also Daddy Saturn saying, it's got to be like this. These are the rules. We're going to follow this structure, and structure is important. This is in my like casual description of Virgo. This is like the OCD decan. And I'm not diagnosing anybody. I am not judging anybody. I'm saying I have shorthand that helps me remember what the qualities of each of the signs might be. And from the way Virgo plays out in my own chart, this is where that like I've got rules and they must be followed kind of energy exists in Virgo. Third decan Virgo, we're still under Mercury rule for the whole thing, but in the third decan, we move to another earth sign. We're going to go to Taurus now, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So we get a higher enoughness Virgo in the last days of Virgo season. In those final 10 days of Virgo season, we've got a sun sign that is not only, yes, Mercury, Mercury, thoughts, thoughts, ideas, ideas, but also this Venusian, I deserve. Let me receive. These are my values. I know and trust that the reason I am meticulous and into all of this energy of Mercury and communication is because it is beautiful to communicate like this. And so there's also a little push-pull between that energy of trusting that you can just be as you are and receive, which is very Venusian, and Mercury saying, but I have a list and I have doings that need to happen. And so I'm thinking about folks who are born in that range of, that would be from September 12th to 22nd. How does that push-pull feel between Venus and Mercury? Kelly says, and that's obviously what I'm working to master while here, that good old enoughness. Yay, I need more Venus in my life for sure. I'm glad for this. Good. Kelly, remember, 44 days with Venus. Go redo it, do it, redo it. 44 Days with Venus is my fabulous, wonderful pop-up class that I did last year during Venus retrograde. Venus will be retrograde again in 2025, and it's a great time to redo 44 days with Venus if you don't want to do it sooner. To me, it would be a good time to do Venus 44-day deep dive anytime that I feel like my enoughness needs a little reboost. And you keep access to it forever. I know y'all know this. I'm talking to anybody who's like, what's that? I want that. If you go to bonniegillespie.teachable.com/courses, one of the courses there is 44 days with Venus. And if you put in the discount code webinar, I think you can get in for like half off. So it's like $22. So, do that. 44 days of Venus is so awesome. Loved it. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I got to do that 44 days with Venus for sure. Alexandra, do it. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. There's someone who just started recently, and I'm meeting with her in the comments because I get emails every time there's a comment in Teachable. And so I love commenting with people who are doing the 44 days with Venus, especially because there's something that happens like by day 3 where they're just like, oh, I'm enough. Oh, I deserve. Oh, this feels so good. And then the rest is just, it feels damn good. So we're going to keep doing it. It's just yummy. It's yummy. Yeah, I need to redo it too. It's just a love letter to Venus and all things receive, receive, receive. We are halfway through. We are going to get this done. We are now moving over to Libra. Libra, you are ruled by Venus. So here we are talking about Venus, and we just moved from, isn't that interesting that we moved from the Virgos who are by decan ruled by Venus, and then we move into an entire sign ruled by Venus, and that is Libra. So first decan Libra, we're going to have that very much doubling down on I am enough, I deserve, I am treasuring beauty. My values and valuables are aligned. These are things that are very important to me. And also the log line for Venus that I love because I am Venus ruled is never late, always worth the wait. Venus does not come in apologizing for being late. No, because did I tell you it takes more than a year for Venus to do a day? She's not apologizing for being late. She is letting it take its time. She says, savor this because you know you want to. It's like, I love that when I'm really feeling my Venus, I will walk across the street and I'm like, okay, traffic's having to like wait for me to finish walking across the street at the stop sign, right? And there's an old me or a non-Venus aligned me that goes, oh gosh, sorry. Let me hurry. I don't want to cause you any trouble. And the Venus version of Bonnie Gillespie goes, let's walk across the street. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Those of you who get to see it from back here, you're welcome. That's right. My Venus is in Leo. So that tracks, right? Okay. Yes, it does. All right. So Libra second decan, which is where I got things in all 3 decans Libra, because I got a stellium. I got lots of Libra energy. I got all 3 of them covered. But the middle decan is the one where I have my rising and my moon. And so you tell me if this tracks. When we go to Libra second decan, we go to another air sign. We're going to go to Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Daddy Saturn, traditional rulership. So here we got, again, that push-pull between Saturn and Venus, because Saturn says rules, order, minimalist values. We keep our boundaries. We do not need more than is necessary. And Venus says, I can have as much as I want. Like, what are you talking about? Not in the Jupiter sense of more, but in the Venus sense of I'm here to receive and I'm here to enjoy the pleasures. And Saturn's like, your pleasure is you follow the rules. And so that middle decan Libra has a little bit of a push-pull there, but and if we go back to the essential dignities, this is where I did the Beyonce placement conversation again, the thumbnail with the cute shoes on it. Okay. This YouTube video, go back and check that out if you need to, talks about how Saturn is exalted in Libra. And so in a way, even though there's a little push-pull between Venus and Daddy Saturn, there is this love of justice that Saturn has in Libra. There is this, of course, scales, of course, justice, of course, law, of course, rules. And Libra loves the balance of following the rules, of knowing that these are the things that we must do, and here's how we must do them. But remember, with Aquarius, we also have modern rulership of Uranus. So this second decan Libra also has that same thing that we talked about for which decan of Gemini was it? Third decan Gemini. So second decan Libra has that same sort of energy of Saturn loves the rules, and Uranus says, I'm here to fuck shit up. Show me where I'm not free, and I'm going to break things until I'm free. And I can tell you some whoppers of stories of ways I got into trouble all through high school, especially, that are about following all the rules and then not being rewarded for it, and then going in and saying, okay, that's fine. I'll just fuck y'all up, and then doing so. Yeah, that for real is that Saturn Venus combination, middle decan Libra. You're welcome. Finally, third decan Libra, we're going to go to another air sign. This time we're going to go over to Gemini, and Gemini's ruler is Mercury. So what that does there is it puts in third decan Libra this, yes, Venus, enoughness, beauty, love, money, bring it, let's, attract, magnetize, yes. And then Mercury says, and you got to communicate. You got to make sure that you're getting the words out. You got to share all the language, all the thoughts, all the ideas. And so if there is a least decisive Libra, it is those that are born in those final 10 days of Libra season. And so the dates that I have here are from October 12th to October 22nd. That is going to be, because Libra is already indecisive, because Libra is a people pleaser. And so it's because you're always trying to figure out what do people want. I'm indecisive because I don't actually have opinion of my own. I want to make sure that everybody else is pleased. And then you've got this Mercury layer on this third decan Libra that says, oh, we can make it even more complicated. Let's always shift the rules. Let's always shift what we want to do. Let's how about choose that and then choose something else, because Gemini has no problem doing that. And so you got to remember that energy is brought there. Let me take a second and look at the chat, see how we're feeling. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Love it, Bon. I am so Leo sun, Leo moon with Libra rising 19 degrees. Cecilia, you and me, I'm telling you, your Libra rising, my Libra rising, we're in sync. We're in sync. Okay, just bought 44 Days with Venus. Cannot wait to get into it. Thank you, Bonnie. You are absolutely welcome, Alexandra, and I will see you there in the comments. Promise. That is the bat signal. You comment, I'll be there. And don't feel like you have to comment. That's one of the things about 44 Days with Venus. I want you to do you. I want you to take your time. I want you to enjoy the unfolding of it, and also really feel into it, because that's what Venus would want. But you're going to find, you are going to find it feels so good. And just giving a little bit of attention to your Venus can absolutely change the game. Again, this brings me back to that thing that I said I came up with while I was working with a client yesterday. Capricorn sun here. Antonia, good. You are going to get your sign soon. We are just now entering Scorpio. So get ready. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Here we go. Scorpio. We're using our traditional rulers for Scorpio for now, for this big conversation. Meaning the big conversation, meaning all of Scorpio ruled by Mars. So it's action takey, it's cut a bitch, it's not afraid to fight for things, it's passion. That Mars energy is a big part of all of Scorpio, but especially first decan Scorpio, because first decan Scorpio gets it twice, right? And if we want to say, yeah, but modern rulership gets invited to that decan rulership, great, okay, fine. Then let's add Pluto there. That is a powerful decan. First decan Scorpio says, not only Mars, I'll cut a bitch, I'll take action, I'm going to show you where my passion is, but also Pluto under modern rulership for that first decan says, we're going to transform things. We're going to burn it to the ground and then build again. We're transform is going to be all the way tower card this shit. Like, we are really going to create transformation here. And so that's why a lot of Scorpios are so intense that y'all freak people out. And you don't mind. That's the fun part. You don't mind. Scorpios, y'all don't mind that you freak people out. It's because you're intense. And we go, whoo, that's a lot. I mean, it can feel like too much. And if you're like, good, That scares off the riffraff. I get it. I get it. We all have things that we do within our charts that help us like keep the people out that we don't need to have in. But Scorpios do it through that intensity and that passion. Second decan Scorpio, water sign. So we're going to go over to Pisces. Pisces ruled by Jupiter under traditional rulership. So second decan Scorpio has a more optimistic worldview, a more expansive expression of what's possible. There's more trust, there's more faith. And Scorpio and trust, those words don't really go together all that well, meaning you got to really be in Scorpio's inner circle to get that trust. But the second decan of Scorpio has more trust built in than the other decans. Now, if we go to modern rulership for Pisces for that second decan, we also get that Neptune influence, which is I'm probably lying to you. I'm probably telling you a story. And Scorpio will say, sometimes you got to lie to people. That's all right. It's not a problem. And it's not a problem, especially for second decan Scorpio. Third decan Scorpio, we move over to another water sign. This is Cancer. Cancer ruled by the moon. What do we know about Scorpio moon? The sign Scorpio and the moon being there. We just spent the first part of this live stream waiting for the moon to move out of Scorpio because she's not happy. She's not happy. The moon is not happy in Scorpio. It is too intense. It is too scary. And the moon is super sensitive. And because Scorpio believes that every feeling that they have is what everybody else is feeling around them and about them, the moon really takes that internal. And if you think about how Cancer is ruled by like the tummy and the female organs, the breasts, the nurturer, all of these types of things, there is very much a push-pull in that third decan Scorpio that feels like a fight going on between that Mars/Pluto energy that comes with Scorpio right out the gate and the moon just being so sensitive. I gotta check the chat on this because I know Scorpios are going to read me to filth if I don't have this right. So let's take a look at this. Yes, it does also apply to rising signs, moon signs, and Mars signs, and Venus signs, and Mercury signs, and Saturn signs, and Jupiter signs, and yeah, everything. Yes, Alexandra. Yeah. My high school boyfriend was a Scorpio, and holy hell was he intense. Yeah. Sahara says Scorpio moon, haha, but feel that so much. Yeah, it's that intensity, that sensitivity to what everybody else is feeling, Sahara, it feels like a responsibility. And that depth and that intensity is something that the other signs don't share. There's just not that level of seriousness in a lot of the other signs. And Scorpio, of course, assumes that everybody has that same level of intensity and awareness. And so it's like the reason that Scorpio, when you're with a Scorpio, you feel like they see you all the way through to your soul is because they do. But you got to trust that Scorpio, other signs are not seeing you to your soul. We can't do that. That's your superpower. We can't do that. Yeah. And doesn't like it, says Alexandra. She doesn't like it. In detriment. Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, the moon doesn't like it. That's right. Not my Lanta, says Jackie. My rising in Scorpio first decan getting mad at me when my ADHD reveals too much. Oh, Alexandra, I bet. Oh, I bet you get in trouble with your rising. I bet that Scorpio gets mad. Like, shut up. Oh, yeah, I see that. Hubby has moon in first decan Scorpio. Carla, gentle, moon in Scorpio, gentle. It's very sensitive, very sensitive. All three kids, Scorpio sun. Antonia, would you say that is a karmic pattern for damn sure? I mean, when you've got all your kids the same sign, I don't know, you may have more than 3 kids, but to have 3 kids, all Scorpio, like you got stuff to clean up this life with Scorpio, right? Yes, Sahara. That's right. Other planets too. Yeah. Super sensitive. All right. So now let's get to Sagittarius. Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. So all Sagittarii are ruled by Jupiter. There is this expansive trust, fate, everything's going to work out, glitter for everybody, more is better. Everybody who knows a Sagittarius knows that they can have these loud, booming voices. They love to get into adventures. They are usually very funny, life of the party, but they are mansplainers. Even if there is not any kind of man about them, they know how to mansplain. That Sagittarius just that Jupiter personality is so big, especially in that fire sign. When we go to second decan Sagittarius, so again, this is the middle 10 days of Sagittarius season for the sun sign, but it's also those degrees. We're going from 10 degrees Sagittarius to 19 degrees 59 minutes Sagittarius. We're going to go to another fire sign. We're going to go to Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So we're going to put in second decan Sagittarius, we're going to add action taking, fire, go, go. And in that Aries kind of way, which is I may think about consequences later, probably not. This is where my husband has a lot of stuff. Second decan Sagittarius. Whew, it's a lot. It's a lot because it's got all the optimism of Jupiter and all the go of Mars, all the passion of Mars. And pretty much right when I did that, my heater did that. If y'all, telling you, this video goes viral if that shit blows up. Don't blow up. Don't blow up. That fire. And then here comes sirens. Okay, you can't make this up. Cannot make this up. There is some fire energy all around. What? Third decan Sagittarius. And now we get into another fire sign, Leo. And Leo, of course, is ruled by the sun. So third decan Sagittarius has not only all the optimism, all the trust, all the faith, all the more adventure, but also that Leo sun rulership. And I'm the center of the world. And I am glowing from the heart. I am gonna take the spotlight. I am gonna be seen. Yes. Right on. Let's move over to Capricorn. Capricorn. Right on time for Capricorn. That's right. Here we go. Capricorn, ruled by Daddy Saturn. So the whole sign loves structure, rules, order. If there's a ladder, I will climb it. I am the the Capricorn sea goat, that goat on the face of the mountain that can just climb on the tiniest little ridge of horizontal space because it's an achieve sign. So it's always go ambition, go get it. But not in the go get it Mars kind of way. Capricorn is much more measured and rules centered because of that Saturn rulership. So that's especially first decan because you're just doubling down on that Saturn rulership. Second decan Capricorn, we're going to go to the next Earth sign, and that next Earth sign is Taurus. And what is Taurus ruled by? Venus. So now we are talking that Venus-Saturn relationship again. For fuck's sake, this Saturn-Venus relationship happens all over the chart wheel, doesn't it? And it's an interesting one. It's one that I've been doing planetary remediation, aka chart harmony, on my whole life. My Saturn-Venus relationship is one that has required a lot of energy and a lot of attention. And luckily, I feel as though I am in a better place with that push-pull than I've ever been. And what I'm saying when I call it a push-pull is, again, Saturn says, you have enough. Don't be greedy. All you need is the basics. Saturn's a minimalist, and Saturn doesn't need you to be extra. And Venus is like, I'm not extra. I'm tits out eating grapes that are being fed to me by all these beautiful people that come to me to serve my every whim. That's not extra. And Daddy Saturn's like, that is so extra. So there is that push-pull of that relationship there. But that can also mean that second decan Capricorn really gets those gifts of enoughness and knowing I deserve it and I don't have to work that hard. And if that relationship gets fixed, nothing to fix, but if that relationship gets reconciled during the lifetime of somebody who is second decan Capricorn, that's really beautiful. Third decan Capricorn, we move to another earth sign. We're going to go to Virgo. So your third decan Capricorns have Mercury as that decan ruler. So we're going to have Daddy Saturn and then some Mercury, which means we're going to have a chattier, more communicative, more I cannot stop churning out content kind of person. Kathy, might that be you? For that third decan Capricorn because of Mercury. Mercury never stops with the ideas, never stops with the communication. And Capricorn says, I am happy to achieve off all of that mental energy. Right. Did you see that? Did you see how that played out? Right. Right on. Okay, great. So now we're going to move over to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Pisces, last two signs, we're going to have a little level of complexity for the same reason we did with Scorpio, because we've got now traditional and modern rulership that are going to come into the conversation a lot more. So bear with me on this. I am more practiced at traditional rulership. It doesn't mean I don't know modern rulership. My mom, like growing up with my mom, I was doing modern rulership with her because Project Hindsight hadn't happened yet. But as that happened and started to influence the way astrology it was and is being done, there's a lot more focus on traditional rulership and the rules of traditional astrology in general. And it lasted for a long, long time for really good reasons. There's some really good arguments for traditional astrology. I mean, in modern too. Obviously, when we modernize anything, it is because the modern times might require some of that updating. So we've seen that and continue to see that, and we continue to, I say, use from whatever's working for you, baby. Use from whatever's working for you, baby. I was trying to do something astrologically with some jewelry recently, and they were showing like, here's what it looks like in this like sign, this house system and that house. And I was just like putting my chart in all different house systems to see like which one visually, this is so Venus, which one visually would be more appealing. And it turns out none of them, because the design was all AI. And I'm like, I can't with AI. I can't with AI, because AI misses the fact that there's something less beautiful about it being mathematically correct. There's something that needs to be messy about it in order for it to be truly beautiful. So let's get into Aquarius, ruled by Saturn in traditional rulership. So when we look at first decan Aquarius, those first 10 days, and so we're looking here at like January 19th to January 29th. So those January Aquarii, we are looking at people who tend to be, yes, double up on that Saturn rules. But remember, Aquarius does Saturn and rules so they know how to break them. Aquarius says, I love knowing all the rules so I can break them, which is where we get that Uranus modern rulership. And so this is a perfect balance of that first decan is all about, I love the rules. I appreciate the rules. I'm so glad those rules exist. And here's where we need to break them. Here's where we need to use the rules against the people who are oppressing people using the rules. This is that whole use the master's tools to break free. A lot of first decan Aquarius in the profession of law, I have found. Yeah, like it, because of course, let's learn all the rules, law school, and then go out and do something that challenges why the law, why this way, why that way, like really creates that uprising energy. When we look at second decan Aquarius, air sign, so we're going to move to Gemini and look at the Gemini rulership of Mercury. So second decan Aquarius, Kathy, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your husband. Sweet Jeebus with that middle decan Aquarius. We not only have all of that Saturn / Uranus energy of the entire sign, but in second decan, we get Mercury saying more ideas, more thoughts, more air. And it's already like such an air sign. And what I like to do for Aquarius is, because it's a fixed air sign, I like to look at the floopy balloon guy outside the used car dealerships, because it's like, I am fixed to the ground. Aquarius is a fixed sign, and I have so many ideas. Air. That is that middle decan, especially. Third decan Aquarius, we go over to our other air sign, which is Libra, and we bring in Venus rulership. So in third decan Aquarius, and these are going to be the people who are born February 8th to February 18th-ish. Again, the days get kind of ragged depending on where we are with a leap year. We have that layer of Venus again on a Saturn ruled sign. So we've got that Saturn Venus dynamic that we keep coming back to. The way I'm a third decan Aquarius and need some Venus TLC, yep, this is all synchronicity. Don't you love it like that? Don't you love it like that? I know Kathy, oh my God, he's middle decan. Of course he is. You don't meet Dave and wonder how big a player Mercury is in his life. You just know. You just know. Yeah. All the ideas. All like, does he stop talking when he sleeps? I'm curious. I'm curious because a lot of Aquarius will talk in their sleep. Yeah. Yep. 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 No. Okay, good. All right. So you do get some time off. Okay, excellent. We know we love Dave. We love Dave. Dave is one of my favorite people to spitball ideas with, just by the way. I love Aquarius in general for being able to writer's room better than anybody. Like just, oh my God, because all the ideas, none of the judgment. It's just beautiful. All right, let's get to Pisces. Pisces is Jupiter ruled using traditional astrology. So looking at that first decan Pisces, people who are born early Pisces season, that's our February Pisces. Those are going to be folks who have that double rulership of Jupiter. So it's going to be all the faith, all the trust, all the expansion, all the just everything is possible, more. And because Pisces really doesn't have a relationship with time or space or money or anything, it can be like overdoing over all the time because they don't really have that much of a basis in reality. That is why Pisces is like, what is time? Like, what are pants? Like losing things all the time because they just, it's just, that's why are you limiting me to only this dimension? Why are you limiting me to only this timeline? Well, here's where we look at that first decan Pisces, that February Pisces sun, right? We take a look at the modern rulership for that decan, and that is going to bring in that Neptune, which Neptune's the liar. Neptune is the addict. Neptune is the, I may be telling you the truth, I may not, and I don't know. Because on a different timeline, in a different dimension, this is the truth. Why are you limiting me to such a now human timeline? Like, broaden your perspective, says Pisces. Of course, very Jupiter ruled thing to do. So when we go to second decan Pisces, so this is going to be the early March Pisces, we move over to, yes, we're still overall ruled by Jupiter / Neptune, depending on how you want to interpret things. But we also move to the next water sign, which is Cancer, and we bring in the moon. So middle decan Pisces, that first part of March, those people with birthdays from the last day of February to about the 10th of March, those are going, and that's my husband Keith, that is where you get that moon under that Jupiter and Neptune. And so it becomes really intuitive, really sensitive, pretty much full on psychic. Like when I see Pisces rising in somebody's chart, I'm already like, before we even start talking, do you want to go ahead and tell me how psychic you are? Like, have you owned it yet? Or are you pushing against that for whatever reasons? Because it's just, that's it. Yeah, March 3rd is Keith's birthday too, Kim. And there are so many people in our world who are born March 3rd. Like, I can name 5 off the top of my head right now that are just in our world who've been attracted to me as their astrologer, or before doing astrology as their self-management for actors teacher, or as someone who cast them in these, where's the other one? Cast. Okay. March 3rd. Very, very big. Apparently I pull that energy in a lot, which is great. I love it. But you're full on psychic, and you know that. You're incredibly sensitive, and you know that. And you can track the times that you did things against your gut, and then there were consequences. And so that's a really big value for middle decan Pisces, is you got to trust your gut, because Cancer moon telling you, come on, trust your gut. Oh, and then on top of it, my husband is also Cancer moon. So on top of that Pisces sun with the Cancer decan, the moon decan, he's also, his moon is in Cancer. I mean, just. Okay. Third decan. We are at the final decan of this conversation. Pisces third decan. We move to the next water sign, which is Scorpio. Now, because Scorpio has both a traditional and modern ruler, that means third decan Pisces could be Jupiter / Neptune up top, and in third decan, Mars / Pluto. Look at that combination of options. That's intense. That's intense. That energy has transformation, war, fight, which is not really a Pisces value, burn it to the ground kind of energy of Pluto, the go get it of Mars. Like that energy is really different from the float through what is time of Pisces overall. So there's a really interesting juxtaposition in third decan Pisces of that energy of Scorpio, which is either Mars or Pluto or a little bit of both, frankly. And so there's going to be a little bit of a revolutionary energy in that Pisces. And this is the decan where we can see a lot of addictive behaviors in Pisces because the pressure of that juxtaposition is too great. So obviously lots of opportunities to do some chart harmony around that. But I want you to notice that we have Mars as one of the potential rulers for third decan Pisces. And then we roll into Aries and go around another year of the Zodiac. And of course, Aries is ruled by Mars. So you see this relay handoff. This is also why when you see people saying, I'm a cusp baby, cusps don't exist in signs. So that is language that actually applies to houses that has just in modern astrology become co-opted into something that people say about signs when that doesn't exist. So the interesting thing is for people who consider themselves a little bit of both of the signs that they're on either side of, and they're not, you are born at a certain degree, a certain minute, a certain second astrologically. So the sun is there, but that rulership of decan, and especially if we get into decans and terms and things that go to divide the sign up by 5 rather than 3, like we get down to the degree, you see that it's already handing that baton over in the relay race to the very next sign, the very next rulership. And so it's more than just, I'm a little bit of this sign, a little bit of that sign. It's you are the sign you are, and what that sign has in common with the next sign is that rulership. How'd we do? Does this make more sense now? This is the sign when we started our meeting. That took an hour and 15 minutes. It's very important for me to track how long it takes me to do these teaches, because what I'm doing with these live streams that I have 7 scheduled between, well, I did one last week before. I have quite a few live streams already scheduled through the end of February of 2025. I am working my muscle for getting some of these teaches down shorter, but not losing the explanation that makes sense, not losing the storytelling that helps you go, oh, decans is something that's incredibly complex and way complicated and potentially overwhelming. And my goal is to make it just understandable enough that you are able to go, ooh, hang on, aha. And when you see someone behaving out of character to a certain sign, you can go, oh, hang on. It's not just all the rest of their chart that I need to consider. Why don't I just take a look at the decan ruler and see if that answers why they're behaving that way or why I'm behaving that way? Let me look at your questions and comments in the chat that's rolling live. Please continue to have this conversation in the comments once this is replay. But make sure you like, subscribe, share. I created a new playlist for our monthly 1, 2, 3, 4 says the clock here in LA. I made a playlist for our monthly doing the Use Your Moons calendar together like we did in my last live stream. We are going to monthly, at least for a little while, do the calendar together for the month ahead. So we're going to meet in January and do the February calendar. We're going to meet in February and do the March calendar, and so on and so on and so on. And I made a playlist about it. So I hope you will make it an appointment to join me for those. And my goal is to get that teach down to a half hour, which I know I will be able to do. I went back and rewatched last week's when I did the December and January calendars with y'all. And it wasn't last week. It was whatever, not the point, Gillespie. I went back and checked how its pacing was. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get this down to a half hour. Also, I did like 2 full months. And so it makes sense that that was an hour. Okay, let's look. John and Keith share Sag rising. So many similarities. Yeah. Situationship John, second decan Pisces, March 1st. He fights. His emotional depths. Yep. Yeah, huh. My Venus at that 1 degree of Pisces. Oh, exalted though. That's a happy Venus. That's a really happy Venus. Michelle says I had to step away during Scorpio. Filling in at a builder, was on cap when I got back on. Missed my entire sign. Thank you for recording. Can't wait for replay. Michelle, you know I got you. You know I got you. This was for me the perfect amount of new info to get excited about and still be able to digest. Liz, thank you. That makes me very happy. Never looked into decans before. Now have a decent, I see what you did there, decent decan. Have a decent amount of familiarity with the signs and rulership. Yeah, and I realized as I started talking, I was like, I did not even say in the description of today's live stream, y'all need to at least be aware of the rulers. And so my cute, like I could have printed out my cute little rulership. I think I have it here somewhere. I'm not going to dig for it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a note that when I go back into Canva to turn this into a downloadable that is not a wall of text, but is instead an easy and fun and keyword filled experience, I'm going to also have the rulership cuties. That's what I call those little claymation looking things that we use for chart harmony. I want them made into like plushies. I want them to be toys. Thanks so much, says Hellcat. Learned a lot from you. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. Or to read that, to see that. This was fun. Thanks, Bonnie. You are so welcome, Sandra. Loved this. Thanks, Bon, says Cecilia. My pleasure, sweetheart. Got a jet. This was great. Thank you, Kathy. So glad. Nice, says Kim. Yes, yes, yes. Love your live streams, Carla says. I've learned so much. Thank you, Bon. My pleasure. Thank you for joining me. I love doing these. I wasn't sure. Today's was not one that I had officially scheduled because balsamic moon, Scorpio moon as we were starting out, void moon, Scorpio moon as we were starting out. I was like, balsamic moon, oh, that's like energy turning down, turning down, turning down. And I went, and if that's the only thing I do in the public eye today, that is actually a really good use of balsamic moon energy to share this and then go into my rest mode, go into my recuperate, honor the darkness of balsamic moon mode. So great. I'm so glad. Love, love, love. Outdid yourself, Bonnie. Thank you, Jackie. Dead on for my second decan. I'm finally going all in with my psychic abilities. Kim, might as well. Might as well. They're there for a reason. We love Bonnie and Canva. Lizzie Lee. I got to tell you, we had a client when I was early on into Canva who wrote in an email in all caps, I don't care how into Canva you are. Quit talking about Canva. And it had all these exclamation points and was in all caps. And so, of course, Keith and I, as we are roaming about and talking about our business and our offerings and the things that we do for people, and, you know, why am I getting into Canva at all? First of all, Venus chart ruler. I love things of beauty. I think Canva's a neat place. I get it. I get it why some graphic designers are anti-Canva because it's making people like me not hire graphic designers, but instead do shit themselves. But y'all, I was an art minor in college. It's not double minor, art and acting. Haha. But so whatever, like it's not taking jobs away from people in my world because I still hire experts to do the things that I need experts to do. Not the point, Gillespie. But as Keith and I would talk about Canva anytime, and even still to this day, sometimes we don't just say Canva, we go Canva because it's Canva with all the exclamation points and all caps because we're representing our client who is like, you know, angry man, shake fist at cloud from The Simpsons. Anyway, that was a long explanation of my relationship with Canva. I love Canva. We love Bonnie and Canva. Yes, thank you, Liz. Want a plushy Venus, don't you? Don't you? Oh my gosh, I do. I want. Yes, see you next time, Gus. I am going to be on twice next week. I gave myself a list of things to make sure I said to y'all and then totally buried this list. Live streaming 2 times next week. Go to bonniegillespie.com/events to see exactly when and to get the link if I've posted the exact link to it. But I think for next week, it's like I don't have topics planned yet, so I haven't scheduled those yet, but I will. The monthly calendar demo, talked about that. Use your moons. There is a playlist. Go like, subscribe, hit notify, all that kind of stuff so that as the playlist gets updated, you get updated. I'm possibly going to turn that into a YouTube podcast because that's a thing now. Contemplating. That may happen. I had a podcast back in 2009, 10. Yeah, 2010. I don't know. We'll see my relationship with podcast if I want to get back into any of that. 2025 is a 9-year. Ooh, do y'all do a word of the year? That may be one of the things that we do next week. I'm going to try and do two shorter live streams. Who knows? Who knows how short I'm going to make them? Because, you know, I got Mercury at the top of my chart. I'm always going to talk. Lots of air. Mercury at the top of my chart. Stellium in Libra. Come on. And of course, my Libra first house creates Gemini ninth house, which means anytime I'm in the role of teaching, I get extra Gemini. So there's that. Happy New Year. Pie wedges of info with emojis. Yeah, exactly, Deb Marie. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. It's kind of what I'm thinking about. Yep. Definitely have influence of second decan of my sun sign, even though I'm last degree of first decan. Your explanation about that made total sense. Good. Cecilia, I'm glad. And you know, there's something called degree theory where you are actually able to look at every single degree, has its own ruler, has its own, is it the Beyonce, is it debilitated? You know, those are all things that go with that. And there's even a numerology of the degrees of everything in the chart. I mean, if you want to find a subject that you will never be done studying, please choose astrology. Yes. Hilarious. Oh yeah, my Canva story. Yeah. Started live streaming and used Canva for almost all my channel stuff except my logo, which I hired a friend to make. Yes, exactly. I would not have thumbnails on any of my videos if not for Canva, because I cannot be bothered with editing video or creating thumbnails unless it's at Canva. Because then I'm just like, boop, 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 done. It's like seriously 5 minutes. Okay, y'all. Word of the year. We will have that conversation next week. I love you so much. We are going to meet on, I think, did I decide the 31st? Are we going to meet on the 31st? Are you going to meet me here on the 31st? Let's meet on the 31st. And then we'll meet again on the 2nd. Let's do it. Let's do it. My pleasure, Alexandra. I had been live streaming so much, and then I took so much time off and I lost my muscle for it. And so I'm really happy bringing my muscle back and getting a different relationship with it, but one that's even better. And it really warms my heart to see folks that were with me before, staying with me now, coming back with me now. I love that alignment. I love that connection. Thank you. Y'all, big hugs. Get grounded. You are safe. I love you. Love yourself. Venus loves you. Moon loves you. Jupiter loves you. Sun loves you. Like Mars loves you in a different kind of way. Saturn definitely loves you in a different kind of way. And Mercury cannot be bothered with committing. I'm sorry. Just not going to happen. All right. Love y'all. Come visit in Discord. I'll see you next time. And until then, I'm told that this cut off really abruptly last time. And since I'm not going to want to make that my signature, I'm going to wait for a couple seconds before I say anything else so that it doesn't cut me off in the middle of what I'm saying. So I'm just going to sit here for a second. Just going to sit here and look around.